Hi everyone, I'm Rick, and I've got 50 years of Habs fandom to share with you. And today we're looking at some Forgotten Habs heroes in a four-part series. So today we look at the unlucky and the tragic. And that's right here at Talking Habs with Rick, that's me. So if you love the Habs like I do, subscribe and ring the notifications bell to get all my videos, live streams, and much more. All dedicated to the Habs and all things hockey. And please leave any comments you may have in the comment section below. So let's get started. So number one is goaltender Jocelyn Thibault. He played here from 96. I guess it was 96 when he was traded. It might have been late 95. Right up until the 99 season. He had the unlucky... He was unlucky to be traded for Patrick Roy in that big trade with Colorado. He was never given a chance here, really, after that. Although, he put up, when he first was traded, his first season, I guess half a season, he put up really good numbers in 95, 96. He had 40 games played, 23 wins, 13... I'm stumbling on my words. 23 wins, 13 losses, 3 ties. A 2.83 goals against and a 9.13 save percentage. So those were really good numbers. And actually, we had high hopes. Those of us who weren't just totally down on him, it wasn't his fault he was traded for a while. We had high hopes for him, but it went downhill pretty quickly from there. His numbers weren't great. His record, you know what? His goals against and his save percentage weren't horrible. That's for sure. They weren't. He had some, but he played. We traded him to Chicago. We played on some pretty bad Chicago teams and some pretty bad Montreal teams, to be honest with you. And he just didn't get the. I think he was a better goalie than we thought at the time here. He was traded to Chicago. That's how we got Jeff Hackett and Eric Weinrich at the time. And yeah, over his career, he had really good numbers, but he played on some crappy teams, especially after a while left here and in Chicago. And yeah, Jocelyn Thibault, very unlucky to have been traded for Patrick Roy. Just going to take a second here to say, please listen out for the Habalisten podcast. That's Lewis and Gibby and myself, starting very shortly for season 4. That's Habalisten Podcast, and I'll leave a link in the description, and you guys can check it out. Number 2, Todd Yuen. He played here. He was a right wing, played here from 1990 to 93. He had 518 games played in his career with 1,911 penalty minutes. He was an enforcer, definitely an enforcer. He didn't put up a lot of points. Definitely kept people honest. He was known for knocking out Bob Probert with one punch in his second NHL fight, something I didn't know till I was writing up this video. He won the Cup here in Montreal in 93. Sadly, he committed suicide September 19th, 2015. He was 49 years old. And it was later confirmed that he had stage 2 of CTE. Very sad. So rest in peace, Todd Yuen. He played here from 1990 to 93. That's number 2, Todd Yuen. Number 3 is Brian Fogarty. He was a defenseman. He played here in 1993 and 1994, those 2 seasons, for just maybe like 40 games between the 2 seasons, I think a little less. He was a very troubled guy. He was the 9th overall pick for the Nordiques. He was a known alcoholic. He bounced around for 9 seasons in 7 leagues with 17 different teams. But he was an extremely talented offensive defenseman. He really was. He just had so many troubles, and he couldn't get... he was an alcoholic, and he couldn't overcome that. He was a local kid from Montreal, and sadly he died of an enlarged heart March 6th, 2002. I believe he was on a fishing trip with his brother-in-law. He was 32 years old. So rest in peace, Brian Fogarty. Number 2, Brian Fogarty on the Forgotten Heroes of Montreal. Number 4 is Jean Hamel. A defenseman. He played here only one season in 1983-84. So he played only the one season. The reason he only played the one season was he was sucker punched in the eye during the playoffs. I think he had gotten 14 or 15 games in, so it was near the end of the playoffs. He suffered a very serious eye injury and never played again. And I don't remember who he was sucker punched by. I did all my research on Wikipedia from. Anyways, there's a reason for that. And they didn't really say who it was, and I don't remember. I saw it. I was young. I never remember. I saw it though. I was watching it when it happened. He was a good defensive defenseman. He was near the end of his career. He had probably played about 12 seasons. He probably would have ended his career here in Montreal eventually after a few seasons, but he ended it at the end of the 83-84 season due to this eye injury. It was really sad. I liked him. He was here one season. He was a defensive defenseman, but he was a good, solid, steady one, and I really liked him at the time, and it was really sad to see what happened to him. So that's number 4, Jean Hamel, number 4 in the Habs Forgotten Heroes series. So I'd like to take a minute here to talk about TubeBuddy. It's a really great extension that I use to make my thumbnails and my metadata, which are tags, descriptions, and titles. If you're a video creator, a live streamer, a vlogger, or a gamer, or really just anybody who just wants to see stats about the channels, consider getting TubeBuddy. It's for analytics, SEO, making thumbnails easily, and much, much more. You'll find TubeBuddy easy to use and extremely helpful, and quite frankly, I couldn't do this video channel or this YouTube channel without it. I really couldn't. So check out the link. It's going to be in the description, and best of all, it's free. And you never have to upgrade from the free version. You never have to upgrade ever. If you do upgrade, though, it's affordable, and in my opinion, a necessity for me. Not that you have to upgrade is a necessity, but TubeBuddy's a necessity for me. So check it out for yourself and see TubeBuddy. It really is your buddy when it comes to YouTube. It's available for Chrome, Firefox, and Safari. And there's a link in the description. Thanks. Number 5 on this list is John Kordich. He was a defenseman. He played here from 86 to 1989. He had 244 games played total. He had also 997 penalty minutes. He was definitely a goon-type player. He didn't put up much points. He was here at the same time Chris Nyland was here. We had those two fighters. Nyland was a hockey player. Kordich was not really. Though he was a good fighter, a heavyweight for sure. Bigger, I didn't check his, but he was bigger than Nyland. He had a huge steroid problem and drug problem. He was also a Stanley Cup winner in '86, and sadly he died of lung failure due to heart malfunction due to his drug use and steroid use on August 8th of 1992. Rest in peace, John Kordich. So number 6 is Guillaume Lapointe. Guillaume Lapointe. Every time I try to remember this guy's name, if I'm talking about this incident, I can never remember his name. Thank God I wrote it down. He was a right wing. He played here from 2007 to 2010. He made the team at 19 years old under the tutelage of Guy Carbonneau. Guy Carbonneau was the coach at the time. He was rushed by a good 2 years, probably more than that, but he was definitely rushed. He couldn't handle the pressure as a francophone here in Montreal, also being rushed, not having the talent that we really hoped he did have. Remember, at the time we were desperate for a star. French Quebecers were desperate for a French star, and they just really rushed this kid. He had some talent, but really, if he was at best a second liner, probably more like a third liner. And he went to Minnesota after, and he didn't do much anywhere. So he was rushed way too fast. He didn't really have the talent, really, for what we thought. Patrick Roy, in a press conference, made a comment about Lapointe being where he was because he was French, and Lapointe countered with something, I can forget what exactly it was, but he was right. They rushed him because he was French, it didn't work out. Sad for the guy, because I imagine if they would have developed him properly, he probably would have had a decent career. So it's Guillaume Lapointe, number 6 on my list. I'm just going to put in a quick little plug for Saturday night Hockey Talk live stream. Every Saturday night at 9 p.m. So if you're not doing anything on a Saturday night, check it out on my channel. It's a live stream, Saturday Night Hockey Talk. Hope to see you there. Number 7, is Trent McCleary. Trent McCleary, a center. He played here in 98, 99, and 99, 2000. Didn't play that much. Wasn't a very talented hockey player, but on January 29th, 2000, attempting to block a shot from Chris Terrien, he was hit in the throat and critically injured with a broken larynx. Habs medical staff kept him alive till he got to the hospital, and he retired shortly after. He was also the suspected, this is all alleged, I'm not saying he was, suspected second kid that was abused by that coach, Kevin, I forget his name, who also abused Theo Fleury. So he was the suspected kid. He never admitted to it. I'm just saying this was the rumor. I don't know if it's true or not. I don't want to get sued for anything. I'm not saying it. Just that's what was going around. So that's number 7, Trent McCleary. Also, when he was rushed to the hospital, I don't know if you ever seen the image. I think they did some kind of little thing on CBC about it. He was operated on, full uniform, skates still on. That's how critical he was. But it turned out okay, but he couldn't breathe properly after. That's why he retired. So Trent McCleary, number 7, Habs Hockey Heroes. So number 8 is Richard Zednik. Richard Zednik. He was a right wing. He played here from 2001 to 2004. On April 26, 2002, Kyle McLaren of the Bruins throws an elbow to the face of Zednik, who was in full flight chasing a puck in the offensive zone. He was near the right, I believe it was the right face-off circle. If not, it was the left, obviously. Zednik suffered a fractured cheekbone, a broken nose, and a concussion. And he missed the rest of the series, although we won the series 4-2. McLaren, I think he was suspended, obviously. It looked like he clotheslined him. We thought, anyway, he stuck. He must have done that, but his arm went out too. And we thought he hit him in the neck like that, but he didn't. He broke his cheekbone, nose, and it was horrible. I remember watching that. It was horrible. Not the worst thing that happened to Zednik. February 10th, 2008, Zednik is with the Florida Panthers, playing Buffalo. Teammate Olli Jokinen gets tangled up with Buffalo player, and he falls down forward. His skate comes up like that, so on an arc, and at the same time, Richard Zednik skates by, and he clips him right here on the carotid artery. Blood splurts out. But Zednik thinks quick, and he skates right to the bench with a trail of blood. But he skates right to the bench. Thank God that saved his life. It did. It saved his life. It was said afterward. So somehow he got, it says, I wrote here, somehow he got to the bench on his own. He did. Paramedics, who are always on hand at hockey games, quickly stabilized Zednik, and the team doctors controlled the bleeding. He was rushed to hospital, and everything turned out okay. It was horribly reminiscent for you older guys of the Clint Malarchuk injury in 1989, and that Malarchuk injury is the reason what goalies wear those things around their necks so they don't get. Malarchuk got a skate across throat cut, and never forget that one either. That one was amazing. So these were a few of the sad, tragic stories of some former Habs that got forgotten over the years. So next up in the series, I'm going to do on some forwards. I'm going to do forwards, defensemen, and goalies. So thanks for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe and ring the notifications bell to get all of my videos, live streams, contests, and podcasts for your daily fix of Bleu Blanc Rouge. And check out my Patreon page. There's a link down there for there's some exclusive content in the works for the page, so it's only going to be up there. And it's only going to be up once I get a couple of patrons. I haven't gotten anybody in there yet. So if you're interested, check it out. And once there's people in there, I'm going to put up exclusive content. I'm already working on a few videos. Don't forget, I just talked about it. Saturday night hockey talk live stream. Oh, my words are getting mixed up now. Every Saturday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And listen for the Habalisten podcast. Season 4 is starting soon. And it's going to have Lewis and Gibby and me. That's starting soon. I don't have a date yet. I'll let you guys know. So thanks again. Go Habs, go. Bye, y'all.